Good evening to those who listen. It's April 30th, 2024, 8:36 p.m. This is coming from New York Prepper. Let me show you. Breaking news. Emergency alert. New York Police Department raids Columbia University. Let me see if there's any other info around here. Live coverage. So it started about 33 minutes ago. I just got here. But I know this is going to be a really touchy subject. I'm going to do a live stream at 10 p.m. So less than an hour and a half from the time that I started this video. I'm going to fast forward it. You can say what you want about the protests. Some of them are not peaceful. Some of them have some violence going on. And others are just refusing to disperse when they're supposed to. All right, where's the live coverage?
Situation, guys, okay?
What's going on here?
Very, very serious, escalating very fast. So we do have breaking news coming in. New York City's riot police have now entered the campus at Columbia University via the Carman Hall gate.
Look at
okay.
Buildings occupied by
the Carman Hall gate.
But I guess they're peaceful, huh? Barricaded themselves in.
You guys stand by.
It's already, Columbia and I don't know how many others have closed down. I think Columbia University has closed down completely. No on-campus learning at all. And then there's other colleges where there's only remote learning only.
So the raid has begun, guys. Looks like the raid has begun.
They're telling people to shelter in place.
Police have entered Columbia University.
Yeah, so if this isn't considered an insurrection and just a peaceful protest, then I guess since it was so peaceful, they had to barricade themselves in. And if it was so peaceful, then why would the New York Police Department have to go in and raid the building? There's supposed to be some coverage here. I'm behind about 30 minutes, a little more than 30 minutes. So, well, actually, no, I'm not. So I went ahead a little bit. 25 minutes behind. So I'm going to try to find, instead of wasting time, let's see if we can find the actual footage of things happening.
And many students we know have very strong convictions, strong beliefs.
And don't get me wrong, everyone has the right to peacefully protest.
It's not always how it is. But when actions cross over into vandalism, harassment, destruction of property,
that's not peaceful. That's an insurrection.
Line's
been crossed, exactly.
A few of the individuals participating in last night's actions, they forced staff from their jobs. Students from the security of using buildings.
Right.
They broke windows, barricaded exits.
But that's peaceful, I guess, to some people.
These individuals are clearly breaking the law.
Clearly breaking the law.
There must be accountability.
Right.
Whether that's disciplinary action from the school or from law enforcement.
The problem
Our
is...
job is to keep students safe. There are 30,000 students at Columbia University.
And all of them...
Vast majority are not involved in the protests.
Right, yeah, let's get that straight too. Most of the students aren't participating in this. So why are they being punished? These supposed peaceful protesters are supposed to be, just peacefully protesting, not causing damage, not hurting anybody, not blockading themselves inside, not blocking entrances so other students can't get in. I would be pissed. I would be pissed if I was a student or a parent of a student that's paying this outrageous tuition, costs, and then you don't even get to go. Oops, sorry. No, there's going to be lawsuit after this happens. But meanwhile, the police were not getting involved, and the school wasn't getting involved. They were letting them do this. And, I've had some people already saying, you don't even know what an insurrection is. Well, I know for sure that this isn't a peaceful protest. Some of the protests, yes, they've been peaceful, and they are doing what they're supposed to. The police are telling these protesters they can stay out there, protest all they want until 10 p.m., and that's when the what's it called, the loud noise, has to stop for wherever you're at. So then they keep going, they keep warning them. And, then sooner or later it's midnight, 1 a.m. People, that aren't involved with this at all, just trying to be peaceful, get some sleep, and they're sitting there doing that. And no matter how much the police give them warnings, they continue to do it. And then it comes to the point where the police have to forcefully remove them. How is that peaceful? If they were so peaceful, they would do their protests, quit at 10 p.m., go home, do whatever, come back the next day and peacefully protest again. But no, they have to vandalize, smashing windows and stuff, barricading themselves in, blocking people from coming through, especially if they know that they're Jewish. That's racist. And then you got some of these colleges are handing out leaflets that say the only way to free Palestine is death to America. And if you're saying death to America, isn't that an insurrection? The January 6th, they were saying that back then, they were so mad about that. But, you can say death to America, but you can't protest, an election results. You can't protest, just peaceful. They were, a lot of it was peaceful protesting. We know it was a setup that, the FBI, the CIA, the alphabet gangs, shouldn't have said the letters, but, they were involved. They didn't want to have a peaceful protest. All the police just let them all go in. They could have had all the fences and stuff around there beforehand. They knew months ahead of time, but they didn't stop it. They didn't want to stop it. They wanted to use it as an example. And now we have something that's a million times worse happening. And, it's just peaceful protests. I'm sorry, these are not peaceful protests. And later on tonight, when I do the live stream, I'll show you some footage of some of these protests around the country at some of these major colleges. And you can be the judge of whether they're peaceful or not. I am all for peaceful protesting. Everybody has a right to voice their opinions. Yes, no problem. Everybody, every color, every race, every culture has their right to peacefully protest. And each and every race has a right, to be secure, to not have to worry about being attacked just because you're a Jew, just because you're black, just because you're Asian, whatever it is. Everyone is equal in God's eyes. So anytime where there's, where if you're saying, if you couldn't go to another country, death to America. If you went to I ran to the store country and you said that, death to that country, you'd be killed. You'd be arrested. You'd be thrown in jail. They're not gonna allow that to happen. I don't know any country where you can go in and start handing out pamphlets to all these people and say, we need death to this country, death to that country. You can't do it. So, people trying to tell me I don't know what an insurrection is. Well, what is an insurrection then? I'll be willing to listen to all sides, open mind on everything. Everybody has the right to their opinions. But when it comes down to violence and, and destroying buildings and forcing people, out of buildings, blocking them from entering buildings, that's not peaceful. And anyone that says death to America, that's not an insurrection. That's not calling for violence. How is saying death to America not considered violence? If you went up to a police officer and said, I'm going to do that to you, you think they're going to say, oh, thank you for saying that. Oh, you're so peaceful. No, you're going to get thrown on the ground and cuffed and go to the jail. And if you went to another country and started going up to public buildings, colleges, whatever, and you did the same thing, death to this country, death to that country, don't you think, you'd be arrested? That's not peaceful. It's not peaceful. So people need to learn, I guess, the definition of peaceful protesting. Whenever there's violence or vandalism, damage, breaking down windows and doors, that's not peaceful. And we know that they have groups that are funding them. I heard UCLA. I don't know which college it was, so I'm just going to say a college. I'm not sure. There was a college that were offering $2,800 for people to stand out for 8 hours. And then if you get arrested, don't worry, we got a fund set up to get you bail out of jail. So sure. There was Lisa Havens. She said that there was 55 people arrested at one of these peaceful protests. And 26, almost 50% of them didn't belong to the college, were not students in that college at all. So they're bringing in people from other places to do these protests. How can there be this many people? It makes you wonder. How can there be this many people protesting and you don't have anybody protesting for our country? Nobody's protesting for the homeless. Nobody's protesting for the veterans. Join me 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. I love you guys. God bless. God loves you. And just keep an open mind on everything. God bless.